So the most recent PlayStation showcase was on June 2nd, and it was an interesting one. Sony literally rented out theaters for people to watch the showcase in them, which gave the impression that whatever was coming was going to be big. It even made some people think the PS6 was going to be announced, but instead of that, our grand finale was 20 minutes of a new God of War game starring Kratos' immediately deceased wife, Laufey, who we laid to rest at the beginning of the 2018 God of War reboot. We go back to that moment, her spirit flying up off the pyre her body's being burned at, and because the current mythology is so fucked up with the deaths of many important gods and beings necessary for death to even function properly, she instead goes to this strange purgatory amalgamation where dudes from all sorts of different mythologies are gathering, like deceased refugees from their own lore. This is a very cool setup, and we see some Laufey combat action that looks familiar but smoother. She's a little more agile of a fighter, and the combos and maneuvers she does seem fluid and watery in a satisfying way. She eventually gets captured by a few dudes and brought to this big Red Hulk yokai-looking MFer straight out of an otaku Doom game, alongside an Egyptian pharaoh lady with dreadlocks where the cultural and mythological differences between the beings here become apparent. For some reason, we're thrown in jail, and then next to us we meet a talking cube of slime with a sword sticking out of it, both of which are sentient and engage in Forspoken-esque dialogue, which is admittedly off-putting. But then you break out and get to use the sword, while the cube, whose name is Frank but with a PH and a K, fights alongside you FF16 Torgal style and bumps into enemies occasionally, which was hilarious for a few seconds. There are theories surrounding what Frank is, since it looks so unbelievably out of place, like we got transported to a Dragon Quest game or something. Some are saying it's Metatron's cube. People are scouring every kind of mythology they can think of to find a connection, which is a fun little endeavor, and the doors couldn't be blown any wider in regard to the possibilities this game's concept of interconnected lore introduces. But I run into a fucking Beelzebub out here. So this gameplay trailer drops, and people online have opinions, some based in ignorance, some based in agenda, so let's tackle some of these. The first thing that comes up most prominently is just, oh no, female protagonist. And every time people start trying to run with the fact that that narrative does exist, many people are quick to be like, no, you don't understand, young tourist. I have been a gamer for centuries and enjoyed many female protagonists like Lara Croft and Samus and whatnot. Therefore, this has nothing to do with the protagonist being a woman, despite all of their subsequent jokes being about the fact that the protagonist is a woman. Like, some of you have other reasons for your disdain surrounding the creative process behind certain games, like sometimes they take a hot actress and uggify her character model, sometimes Sweet Baby Inc. and the DEI task force get involved and make arbitrary design changes for the sake of piety, sometimes they get a hold of the script and write straight heater bullshit to appeal to terminally online leftists. All of this does happen. But at the end of the day, God of Woman is not a joke that embodies any of those other aspects. It's just woman. You have these other gripes, but all the jokes are woman. Branch out. And as a reminder, there are many people who indeed just don't want to play as a woman. They don't know the politics behind this shit. They're weekend dude bro gamers who want to embody a big strong man who pulverizes things to make their dick hard while their wives raise their children for them. These people exist, and you will see their complaints. I think the most absurd complaint I've seen is people with this agenda running around saying Laufey isn't hot by posting screenshots of her screaming in pain or looking otherwise distraught by what's happening in the scene. This is propaganda, plain and simple. You're like paparazzi hunting for that one photo that makes someone look bad so it can be on the front page of every tabloid. You're being dishonest by default, and it makes you look genuinely stupid and malicious. Deborah Ann Woll, the actress who plays Laufey, plays Karen in the Daredevil series, and she is a classic example of a blonde bombshell. She is the quintessential hot girl aesthetic. When she's done playing Laufey, I want her in the next Metroid game, where her gameplay is predominantly outside of the suit. Zero Suit Samus should be flip-kicking around, being all agile and flexible and shit, and that should be the main focus of the next Metroid game, as I've said before. And Deborah Ann Woll should be the one doing it. Even though that's not really what Laufey is, that trailer has convinced me that this actress can pull off one of those sleek-suited, acrobatic female action hero roles. I see the vision. But anyway, the point is she's hot, and despite her in-game character experiencing adversarial events that tend to reduce one's ability to looks max, not matching one-to-one with professionally photographed model headshots, claiming she's not hot makes you gay. Sorry, I don't make the rules. Enjoy cock. I hear the competition is stiff. One thing that's not clear to me at this point is whether this is even a full game. I kind of get Miles Morales vibes from it, like it's going to be a shorter side story that winds up costing $50 or something. If it is that, I'll be disappointed since this game has the coolest potential with its lore and I'd like it to be maximized over a full-length game, but I wouldn't be surprised. Overall, I am excited for this game, and I think it will be fun to play, so put another point on the board for the positive side of this game's discourse. And that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe, watch all my other videos, and limit my lack of diversity, and I'll see you guys next time.